Oh, hey babes, what's up? Happy day to you. Or it's a day, huh? To you. Fairy Rave Godmother pulling up with all the good that you didn't know you needed to hear. But now that you're hearing it, it might be what you need to get you through another day in this dumpster fire world. But listen, life is a practice. Growth is a practice. We got this full moon in Aquarius, Lionsgate, full moon conjunct Cariculo. I'll get to her. And a whole lot of activation around wounding. Also break that down a little bit. So listen, y'all listen to Cafe Tacuba, Mexican band. I have got the song El Outsider stuck in my head. Yo soy el outsider, misfit con causa. I'm a misfit without a cause in this energetic portal around the full moon, Lionsgate. There's a lot of energy running through the cosmos right now. And if you dip into your practice, you can be with the energy so it supports you in your self-exploration, personal growth, ability to transform and transmute and let go. I mean, yeah, full moons are all about letting go, but they're also about lighting up, because the moon is full. It's bright. You can see all of it, right? Illuminated by the sun. And metaphorically speaking, that's like taking a flashlight, bloop, right up to the innards of the subconscious and shining something out and working with it so you can see what is behind that energy. And I think that it's all about community. Because here's the conundrum. Aquarius is a house for the outsider. Aquarius is also community. Aquarius is also how we are interconnected through each other, through community. And if you think about it, part of what might keep us together as community are trauma bonds. I mean, our communities are meant to validate who we are. Well, they're meant to. Do they always? I don't know, because sometimes we just get thrown into the lion's den. Is that a thing? We get blooped into this whole situation and have community that are just, the members of which are just default community. Think of families. Think of natal families, families of origin, cultures of origin, where you kind of just show up. And I'm separating now from the idea in evolutionary astrology that the soul incarnates based upon what it needs to grow, because ultimately where I'm going with that, or where we go with that through this perspective, is that we show up for the lessons, right? The lived experience of that showing up is not so easy. So we wind up in communities where maybe it is our wounds that bind us, that bond us. And speaking from the psychological perspective, we are always constellating or creating around our attachment styles, what we have learned, these patterns we have learned to be with and act within to validate and fulfill our emotional needs. And the idea there is that this relational experience is something that we really have to work on. So if we want to work on having healthy attachment styles, healthy bonding, where interacting with someone else means boundaries are respected, perspectives are respected, space is held. It's a very present, also a very time expensive experience, because you have to do the work. You do the work by doing stuff like this, especially on days like this. So consider what communities you are in, willingly and unwillingly. Also, a friendly reminder, like I like to say in ceremonies, community is one. You got me. I got you. And through my practice with Planet Dust, I don't push a point of view other than to say, yeah, all stories are valid. And yeah, you should, and I will help you make meaning of your own experience. So right there, that community is that mutual respect, where I may or may not necessarily disagree with you, but in this community, we're having a healthy relationship, okay? Like, I'm not projecting onto you what I expect and what I need to hear. I'm allowing you to show up and just be with who you are. Community is also a community of one, me. So I got you. But show up for Planet Dust, because you got a whole lot more of you. But, okay. And that's what makes the energy of this portal, August 8th and 9th. So it makes it really interesting, because the polarity, or the opposite end, the other side of the axis, is Leo. So we go from Aquarius, community sort of oriented, interconnected, networked, sort of stitched, to Leo, which is often portrayed as a very individualistic type of energy, because it's all about finding your light, finding your joy, shining your light and joy bright on the stage, call the attention in to you. In order for someone to recognize that a community isn't serving them, to awaken to the fact that this container doesn't fit me anymore, I need to be in a different container, you got to pull up with your Leo energy, but also the Martian energy, the Mars energy, the will, the drive to do it. But Leo is about that self, that individual container of personality. And now we're pulling in the perspective of evolutionary astrology. That container, your personality, your Leo, your generative, creative energies, are going to hold your soul so it can grow. And that's a Leo thing. So you got to take yourself out, but then you also got to put yourself back into community, because we are interconnected. We need each other. We ain't staring at our own mirrors, which would kind of be like, I don't know, but let's just say boring. Because what do you do with it? Everything is only in your own image. If in a community everyone only thinks that certain way, well then yeah, communities get oppressive. Communities become scarce. Feeling like no one understands you is coming from a space of scarcity inside. And that ain't true across the board. So, I dropped in curriculo, right? Yeah. Well, so the asteroids that we work with, in this case, past Jupiter, around Saturn, curriculo is a centaur asteroid, so half human, half horse, often considered sort of like the feminine component of the wounded healer's story. I'm going to talk about Chiron, a more well-known asteroid representative of, or working with the wounded healer energy. Chiron's lighting up, but I'll do another transmission video on that. So we got big wounded personhood energy. The feminine component, curriculo, is showing up in this full moon. So you might say, what do I need to let go of, full moon releasing, to be more in community? But that's a little basic, and I ain't basic. Look, what can you be to be more in your heart so that community is more true, is more in alignment with your higher and greatest good? There's that Leo energy, fierce, beautiful lioness energy of the Lion's Gate. The idea is to consider, how can leading with hearts support you if you're working with some ick, general distress, malaise, ennui, hate the fucking world, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, in this full moon, be in the heart of yourself, because you know what? That's community. And spaces like support groups, mental health support groups, are wonderful to show up as your whole ass wounded self, broken, but still held in community. And if you're like, nope, I'm good, I'm just like riding this one, good for you. Hold that space, I'd say, not just for you to feel good, to be your best, brightest self, but for the world, for the other folks who, in this time and space on planet Earth, are having a challenge. Here's peak Leo, Aquarius, curriculo, plus all those outer planets energy, right? I was having my coffee outside today, and I live in a campground in this sweet little trailer, and you know, it is a community of people, and I love that we all live in these tiny homes or RVs or mobile homes. I mean, it hits different when you ain't tethered in, plugged in to a house with foundation and, you know, permanent structures. But I love it, right? And so my community, I am part of this community in a campground. And I had a fella come up to me today while I was on my first cup of coffee. I don't know why he was running his mouth. He often does. I mean, I love him. He a pain in my butt, but I love him. I often flip him the bird as he, you know, walks away, and he flips it right back, and he laughs, and he says, I love you too. But he goes, I got no debt. Truck's paid off. No medical bills. If I need something, government pays it for me. He's a vet, retired veteran. And I said to him with love, well, you could just take that position, and you and your geriatric Cheeto, Fuhrer in Chief, can shove it, because the rest of America ain't like that. And he goes, he ain't have nothing to say. My point is, where's the love for one another? So within this community, I'm actually kind of an outsider. where I don't prescribe to the MAGA agenda in the United States. I just love everyone, but I ain't going to take that lying down. I'm going to stand up for others, not to impose my point of view, but to impose the humanity. It is inhumane to watch prices spike and healthcare options disappear. Well, you was going and gloating. The fuck out of here with that shit. I ain't gotta run my mouth. I ain't gotta, well, I do gotta flip you off, but it's not malicious. It's just like, right? So I know tomorrow I'm gonna be out there drinking my coffee. He's gonna roll up with some other bullshit, and I'm just gonna say, okay. So the outsider position, where within this community, I'm not of the same political ilk or just worldview, but I still love these knuckleheads, because then by the end of the day, we all laughing and hanging out and working on trailers and trucks, and it is what it is. I got other communities where I can break down that perspective and, if needed, provide a rebuttal in a kind and compassionate way. So, for all this high vibrational, you know what? Let's not even let's not even call it high vibrational. Let's just say all of this energy coming in this particular weekend has a lot of potential to be applied for good and for bad, for the individual and for the collective. And I'm gonna just choose to be human. Be human. And if that's the more challenging of the option, okay. Still choose it anyway, because you are whole. That knucklehead this morning, he is whole. Beautiful, beautiful soul. You are whole. In your big ball of light and brightness. And even in these smaller proportions where you might feel defeated or broken, you're still whole. You're still perfect. And if I can offer you this space just for a moment, a few moments, to feel that within your journey and practice, doing my job. Let me know what you think. Stay human. I love you. Eat cake, drink water, take your meds. Even if you think you feel good, do what you need to do to keep your being whole and human and open-hearted to the world and yourself.